And this is the dusty road that brings us to our next site. But we must leave the road itself and go down this little path. And I'm going to take you on this short journey because it's just through Oyama, just through these trees, that we discover our next target. It's a short walk this time. Very recently I just went on one that was, I think I was walking through the jungle for 4 or 5 hours. Which is kind of scary because, you know, there's no defined paths in the jungle. Now, this is why I've brought you on this short walk. Isn't this lovely? This glistening river as it gently tumbles down to a tiny little stream here. It's just, to me, these places are always fascinating because you get to see, you know, nature itself. Isn't it beautiful? It's so lovely to be out here. These, by the way, are fishing pots. Some local is trying to capture some fish, but unfortunately these places are oh so often overfished because there's no regulation. They'll capture absolutely anything of any size. Now, you can see the end of the path here, can't you? Well, if you count to 3, you will then start to see our temples appear. And there they are, as promised, rising majestically out of the greenery. Right, this is rather interesting. We're just stopping the filming for a moment because this gentleman has offered to sell me this rat, which is still alive, for $1. So we will politely decline, but thank you very much for showing me your rat. And the poor thing is in distress, but you know, this is the countryside and things are a little different out here. So here is the Holy Trinity of the 3. And these temples are called Prasad Tor. Nice and easy for once. And as you can see by my hands, I have no rat for dinner. Now, it may seem to some of you, because I know people watch all around the world, that it's a bit odd that somebody may come up to you and say, "Excuse me, sir." Well, he just went like that, really, and went $1. Because he didn't speak English, is why is someone offering me a rat for dinner? Well, Cambodia, if you look at its history, has had a tortuous history with the Pol Pot regime killing off millions of people. This country still is blighted. What I do can be exceptionally dangerous sometimes. There's over 7 million bits of ordnance still in the ground. A lot of those are landmines. And when I travel around cataloguing such beauties as these, then I see an awful lot of people who have been maimed by landmines, and legs and arms blown off left, right and centre. And those are the lucky ones, because all the rest of them are dead. And that happens on an exceedingly frequent basis. So I have to be very careful where I tread. Right here, I know I'm safe. So, no rat for dinner, but for lunch, whoa, we've got a feast of temples. And for their age, they are in remarkable condition, and that's due to the fact they're built out of laterite blocks rather than brick. And we do know who they were built for, and they were built for the Lord Shiva, you know, the Lord of Destruction. Now, there won't be an awful lot to see here, but let's have a delve inside. Firstly, we see here the work of the looters. They have destroyed this lintel, but I'm pleased to say I have a treat for you in just a moment. Now, let's have a quick look inside, because we can see something magnificent. It's a black screen, Mr. B. Yes, that is magnificent. Now, why is that? Well, because that roof is intact. It has no holes in it, and that is what's helped keep it preserved oh so well. And the other two are equally in excellent condition. Where we can see this first lintel has been destroyed by looters, not so much looted, just destroyed. We can see this second is in excellent shape. apart from they've had a hack at the deity here. And these teeth and this shape here tells us that this is Kala. Now, he is the god of death and of time. And doesn't he look ferocious? Look at those teeth. And you've got to keep in mind that this is nigh on 1,000 years old and has been subjected to, you know, the monsoon rains and the severe dust storms and so on. But still, we can see the intricate details of these characters. And you just need to imagine 2 eyes there and you have the whole picture pretty much. Now that is absolutely staggering. We are now inside that temple that has Kala, you know, the god of death and time, directly outside. And I'm looking upwards, and look at that. Isn't it a magnificent view? This one has a slight hole in the front, and I'm sure that you know, many of them were built that way for standard engineering reasons. And it is this way we go outwards to our final temple. But just a quick note here, because this is also the view that the god would have seen. There was probably a statue of Shiva where I'm now standing. But unfortunately, he headed out of this door in the hands of looters. And here is the final of the 3 to complete the trilogy. And we're just going to have a quick peek inside. And there is nothing. To the left here, we can see there is the base for another statue which would have stood here. But again, it's remarkably intact. These 3 are in fantastic condition. These temples were built for the Lord Shiva, the god of destruction. But the strange thing is that these temples are quite simply in excellent condition. The only thing really that has been destroyed is the statues of Shiva himself that would have been right here. But we still have a couple of bonuses in this one. We did look into the face of Kala, the god of death and of time, and marrying those 2 up in one god, I think is a very shrewd move, because it makes perfect sense to me. And we were offered a meaty treat for dinner for just $1. So it was a bit more of the unexpected, and that is what makes these videos, or making these videos, so very special. I never know what I'm going to expect. I've been into temples that have been festooned with rats. I walked into one and there's rats all over the place. But no one has actually offered me one, you know, as a lovely snack. So, you know, it's all a bit different, isn't it? And that's what life should be. Life should always have the element of adventure. And I hope that you've enjoyed our little adventure. And if you have done so, then please like, subscribe and comment. Or maybe, just maybe, you could help me get a little further down the road and help build this library of forgotten temples. Now, how you do that is very simple. It's www.patreon.com/temples. Simple as that. As always, this is Mr. B, wishing you absolutely nothing but the very best. You take good care now.